today's show, we'll get a closer look at the construction around Mirror Lake and look into what's being done to prepare for Buckeye-thon.
Also, we'll get a preview of the men's tennis team and learn about a new food delivery service at Ohio State.
All of this and more from the Buckeye TV newsroom.
Hello and welcome to Buckeye TV News. I'm Braden Hyde.
And I'm Marisha Gibson. Here are your top stories. The Columbus Marathon was this weekend and over 100,000 people participated by running, walking, and volunteering. All proceeds from the marathon go to Nationwide Children's Hospital. The race has raised over $4.5 million in 5 years. Buckeye TV reporter Summer Cartwright caught up with some of Ohio State's runners who participated in the race.
The Columbus Marathon was this weekend, and over 100,000 people participated in running, walking, and volunteering for the event. Buckeye TV caught up with some Ohio State students who participated.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
For the Columbus Marathon, they accept 6,000 marathon and 12,000 half marathon runners each year. Of the 18,000 runners this year were senior Kelsey Wagner and junior Hannah Tomaszewski.
It was really, really fun, and when I tell people that I had fun, they're like, ew, why'd you have fun running?
It's a really cool experience, and it's really cool to push your body and finish and kind of like see where you were, and starting out, and like 3 miles was a lot, and then you finish 13.1 miles, and you're like, oh my gosh, I actually did that. That was really cool.
The Nationwide Children's Hospital Columbus Marathon is the 17th largest race in America and has raised over $4.5 million for the hospital in the past 5 years. While Hannah used running and weightlifting exercises to prepare for the race, Kelsey just focused on running.
You know, a couple short runs during the week, and then on the weekend, on Sunday, I would do one long run, and each week that kind of got bigger and bigger until I stopped at 11.
Though their methods of training were different, they both agreed that the spectators and the cheering helped them along the way.
It was different than I thought it was going to be. I didn't expect like the miracle miles for the kids to be as impactful as it was. It was really cool to run by the kids and like high five them and see all of the people coming out and supporting us.
I saw a lot of friends actually. It was really cool, like seeing people in my group getting ready to start together.
And after successfully completing 13.1 miles, Kelsey and Hannah would recommend the experience to anybody.
I will tell anyone that if you can run 3 miles, you can definitely train to 13. 26 is where it gets a little tricky.
Although the race wasn't sponsored by the university, Buckeye spirit shined through the race and even afterwards.
A guy walked past me on High Street and he said, "Hey, great job yesterday." And that was really cool.
I'm Summer Cartwright with Buckeye TV.
A U.S. District Court judge in Columbus has ruled that Secretary John Huston's purging of voters from the registration roll was unconstitutional. In his ruling, Judge George C. Smith ordered Huston to increase the number of provisional ballots at all polling locations by 15%, allowing for those who were purged from the rolls to vote due to a lack of voting in the past 6 years, which has included 3 federal elections. Huston's office has said they will fully comply with the judge's orders.
Election Day is November 8th, and although voter registration deadlines have already passed, many who are registered will still not make it to the polls. Marisha Gibson explains the importance of having your voice heard.
With the election just right around the corner, students have gathered together at the Gateway Film Center to witness the last and final debate. On November 8th, people from across the nation will be voting to elect our next president of the United States. Amongst those people are college students, eager to make an impact on this year's election.
In the last 2 elections, the group that's decided who won and who's decided what our country was like, whether you thought that was the right way or not, it was young kids. And just like when you look at in the civil rights movement or any other groups with LGBT, when young people decide to really stand up for what they believe in, that's when you've noticed real change and things and the country become better.
There are many issues and concerns that college students deal with, such as student debt. Participating in this year's election is a chance for their voices to be heard and for a chance for them to share any issues and concerns that affect their generation.
I mean, it's vitally important. You know, we have a big say in this election, and at the end of the day, the choices that we have in front of us right now are going to matter to us for years going forward. So it really matters that you get out and vote and make a plan to vote.
Although every vote is important, students play a vital role in electing our nation's next president. Reporting live from Buckeye TV, I'm Marisha Gibson.
After the tragic death of Ohio State student Austin Singletary at the Mirror Lake jump last year, it seems Ohio State is following through with its decision to end the annual Mirror Lake jump. Mike Kuntz has the story.
The Mirror Lake jump, a storied tradition here at OSU, is hanging in the balance. After the tragic death of a student during last year's jump, the university has vowed to end the event. The lake has been drained and blocked off with fences. However, students have different things in mind when it comes to the fate of this beloved tradition.
Ohio State has begun the restoration of Mirror Lake and the surrounding area. High chain link fences and loud equipment are the new norm.
It's not the same. I think we all really enjoy, especially us as grad students, we love taking our breaks, sitting around Mirror Lake, walking around here, we go on runs and whatnot, but it's not the most exciting thing to look at right now.
I'm in the nutrition program, so I always walk to Campbell, and I walk right past here every day. So now it was always refreshing to see some water and see the ducks and people hanging out. So they kind of ruined that now, and it smells weird.
It just felt like everything around here looks really awful, and there's kids taking college visits right now, and why would we want to come to this?
The university has already taken steps to put an end to the annual jump, which takes place at the end of Michigan Hate Week in November. Controversy over ending the tradition has ensued.
I think it's pretty horrible. My dad went here, and he participated in jumps, and all cousins, everybody, so it's like a tradition. It's what makes Ohio State the Ohio State.
I think that's a good call. It's kind of sad to end a tradition, but if it's going to be dangerous and taken too far, I think that's probably the right thing to do.
I'm a junior now, so the seniors this year, I know there's some that are extremely mad about it, and I think it's just really dumb.
It seems clear the Mirror Lake jump will be changed for years to come, leaving many wondering what exactly will happen to this beloved tradition. There have been talks of a Mirror Lake bar crawl to replace the jump this year.
I feel like jumping into something or going on a bar crawl, I think that's a good idea.
I think it's a bar crawl every weekend here at Ohio State, but I think it'd be a good turnout for sure. And then they'll come here and jump the fence.
Even though students will be unable to jump into the lake like they have been able to in the past, it's no doubt that they intend to keep this tradition alive one way or another. I'm Mike Kuntz reporting for Buckeye TV.
Coming up, we have an update on Buckeye-thon as well as info on OSU Pink. Stay with us.
Quick Service Magazine has ranked Buckeye Donuts as one of the 10 most iconic college restaurants in the United States. Buckeye Donuts, which has been open since 1969, was commended by the magazine as one of the most successful restaurants in the college market in the country, citing its iconic neon sign and longevity as part of the university community.
Despite the fact that Buckeye-thon is quite a few months away, preparation for this massive charity event are already in full swing. Here's Devin Getz with the story.
Every year, over 5,000 Buckeyes come together to raise awareness and funds for the cancer patients at Nationwide Children's Hospital. Every student is required to raise $250 or more that contribute to the overall goal of Ohio State to raise over $1 million for Nationwide Children's Hospital. I met with some of the students who spent all year preparing for such an amazing tradition here on campus.
Buckeye-thon is a 24-hour dance marathon that gives college students the chance to make a difference in the community by raising funds for the children at Nationwide Children's Hospital. They represent themselves with the goal of being for the kids, meaning they want every kid to be able to experience a great childhood.
Early on in my life, I had some run-ins with pediatric cancer, and it really just inspired me to do more for the cause.
I lost one of my friends to pediatric cancer, and my mom was also a cancer survivor.
You should sign up to dance because we have 5,000 other Buckeyes here having a great time all night. There's no experience like it where you spend all night in the Union, and it's just a ton of fun.
I got to hang out with all the kids, and seeing them smile and have a lot of fun really touched my heart. The dance marathon last year was one of the best experiences of my life.
Not only are they doing a great thing for the community, but they're making a difference in the world. There's not many chances that you can have such a great impact on this world.
It's really important that we all, in my opinion, give these kids a chance to have childhoods and grow up the same way that we all likely did.
Buckeye-thon's important to me because it's a cause where students can come together to really make a change in our own community, where it's kids that hope to be just like us and come to Ohio State and make a difference as well.
The deadline to sign up to dance is November 18th. I'm Devin with Buckeye TV.
The 19 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees for 2017 are causing some debate among Ohio State students and staff. Hannah has the story.
The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland, Ohio recently announced its 2017 nominees. It must have been 25 years since the artist released its first album for them to be nominated. This year's nominees include Tupac Shakur, Journey, Janet Jackson, and Pearl Jam. In the end, only 5 will be inducted.
Ballots will be sent out to more than 600 historians, members of the music industry, and artists, including every living Rock Hall inductee. Since 2012, fans get the chance to vote, with the top 5 vote-getters getting a ballot which will be weighted the same as the rest. The winners will be announced in December and inducted into the Hall of Fame in a ceremony in April. Students and faculty have mixed opinions on who will make a good inductee.
For who's up this year, actually, I would have voted for the Jay Giles Band and the Cars. I think they should have been in a long time ago. So it's interesting to me that they weren't in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
But Tupac, I like Tupac a lot. I mean, he's been a great presence here in America. I think a lot of the rock and roll movement has been caused by Tupac.
Yeah, one of them I saw was Janet Jackson, which she was obviously pretty popular during her time, but I don't really see her music as rock and roll per se. So yeah, I'm just not really sure why bands similar to that or artists similar to that are included in the rock and roll aspect of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Because nowadays it doesn't seem like we have that many new rock bands, and so they have this need to just keep amping up the people who want to come to see the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and so it seems like they've been putting just more and more people who maybe aren't associated with rock even into the Hall of Fame.
Because I think everyone has different opinions on what's good music, and since everyone gets a vote, I think that it's good that there's a lot of different types of artists and musicians on there.
As evidenced by this year's nominations, the face of rock is changing.
I'm Hannah Herner for Buckeye TV.
While we all recognize the successes of the football team, often what's going on the sidelines can be equally as entertaining and exciting. Gabriella DiGiovanni caught up with the cheerleading team to see what they've been up to this season.
The Ohio State cheerleading team makes up a critical piece of the Spirit Squad, who brings their love for the Buckeyes into Ohio Stadium every week and throughout the Big Ten. It's an honor to wear the scarlet and gray uniform as an Ohio State cheerleader, and the expectations for the squad are set very high.
We're looking for not only the best athletes, but also people that will do a really good job of representing our program, representing the athletic department, representing the university as a whole. We're looking for people, obviously, with the best partner stunning skills, best tumbling skills, and then also people that are just really be good ambassadors.
The OSU team has 17 couples, 17 men and 17 women, and their commitment to the team and university is much more than you may think.
So we practice Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and then Friday on home games. We have lifting. The girls have lifting on Mondays and Wednesdays. In the mornings, guys lift from Tuesday, Thursdays, and then they also work out once a week on their own. We work out right here in French Field House, and then at night we practice 6:30 till 9:30.
And the team is an integral part of the game day experience.
Primary focus of our team on game day is to raise and create school spirit, make sure that there's a lot of energy. Our number one job is making sure that fans are participating. We want to enhance the overall fan experience.
Through all the hard work and long practices, it's all worth it on game day.
My favorite part actually is walking in to the stadium. So we line up right outside of French Field House, and there's people just lining the stadium. And the military just walked in front of us, the cheerleaders are next, and then the band, and you hear the drum cadence start, and we just start cheering, and there's everybody standing on the side. And then there's fans up in the stadium, and we run in and we break, and then we run down the tunnel, and the fans are already in there cheering for us, and we see the football team warming up. So I think pregame is my favorite part, actually.
For Buckeye TV, I'm Gabriella DiGiovanni.
Midterm season is here. What classes are students stressing about the most? Reporter Kaylin Chang has the inside scoop on some of Ohio State's hardest classes.
With midterm season in progression, the students at The Ohio State University are cooped up at libraries studying for their hardest exams.
I spend 3 or 4 hours studying per exam.
I study like every day. Like every day.
I usually spend at least
2 hours a week like studying.
Usually I spend like around 2-ish hours a day.
So I have breaks in between my classes, and every time I have breaks, I'm in the library studying.
Thompson Library is a popular study spot during midterm season. Students can utilize any of its 11 floors to study for their hardest classes.
I'm in Honors Gen Chem 1 right now, and that is like one of the hardest classes that a biology major can take.
Okay, for sure.
Okay.
Accounting and math easily.
I would say the hardest class I've ever taken was an international studies class on 9/11.
Math 1148, that's a class you really have to just drag out and put the time in.
Other classes that are really difficult are like biochemistry, physiology, organic chemistry.
I'm taking OChem 1. It was my first exam, and it was interesting.
So it seems that math and science courses are the hardest challenge at OSU, but students are continuing to work hard and study to achieve their highest GPA. I'm Kaylin Chang with Buckeye TV.
Are you stressed about midterms, Marisha?
Yeah, coffee has been my best friend, Braden.
Up next is our Morgan Clark with the weather, as well as a look into some of the best study spots on campus.
And later, we'll find out about a new food delivery service at Ohio State. Stay tuned.
With midterm season over, many students go right back to studying in preparation for finals. With an abundance of study spots around campus, it's hard to know where to go. Lori Hamami has the story.
As exams approach, it's not uncommon to find students sprawled nearly everywhere on campus. Whether they're curled up in Thompson Library or snagged a spot in a cafe, the options are endless. I'm Lori Hamami, and this is Buckeye TV.
After one of the most exciting seasons in recent memory, the Cleveland Indians have clinched the American League Championship and will be headed to the World Series. The Indians beat the Toronto Blue Jays 3-0 in Game 5 of the series. It's been 19 years since the Indians have made it to the World Series and 68 years since they've won the World Series.
This season, the men's tennis team shows a lot of promise. Here's our own Braden Hyde with a preview of their season.
The football team isn't the only stellar athletic squad here at Ohio State. Last season, Ohio State's men's tennis team garnered a record of 32-2 and was ranked in the top 10 all year. I caught up with some coaches and players for a preview of the season ahead. Junior Hugo DeFeo is one of the top players in the lineup this year. He stressed the importance of proper practice and training in order to get in the right shape and mentality before each match. He vividly recalled the Northwestern match last year as his favorite because of the dynamic of the crowd and the high stakes at hand. The Buckeyes have also hosted the first and second rounds of the NCAA tournament every year since 2006. Head coach Ty Tucker has been at the helm for the last 11 years and has secured the title of Big Ten Coach of the Year every year but one. He also has lost only one conference match since taking over as head coach back in 2005 and has an overall winning percentage of 87%. DeFeo and Torpegard qualified for the Big Ten Singles Championship last week. This tournament will be held in Flushing Meadows, New York on November 4th through the 7th. Sounds like there's a lot of potential and excitement surrounding the Buckeye men's tennis team this year. For Buckeye TV, I'm Braden Hyde.
A recent point of controversy in the United States is the compensation of student athletes, leaving many wondering if college students should be paid to play. Buckeye TV reporter Joe Dempsey has the story.
Many student athletes receive scholarships, but is that enough as they sacrifice their time and health while the NCAA profits?
I don't think they should be paid.
In 2010, the NCAA agreed to a 14-year deal with CBS Sports and Turner Broadcasting worth $10.8 billion.
Colleges make so much money off of these athletes, D1, D2, and even D3.
According to a study done by the National College Players Association and the Drexel University Sport Management Department, football and men's basketball players at top sports schools were denied at least $6.2 billion between 2011 and 2015.
They're doing hard work to stay in shape and to be a part of a team, and I believe that deserves some compensation.
The average men's basketball player could be compensated $1.06 million over 4 years. Players at Bowl Championship Series schools could be compensated over $1.5 million over 4 years.
It's hard to justify giving kids a ton of money as well, so that's where it becomes tough to sort through, but it is definitely unfair that the universities profit off of their likeliness.
In 2014, the Ohio State University football program profited over $50 million. Some people support the compensation of college athletes, while others argue their scholarships should suffice. Reporting from Ohio Stadium, I'm Joe Dempsey.
As you've more than likely noticed, the weather has been fairly erratic in the past few weeks. Morgan, will things start to normalize?
Actually, we're seeing some fall temperatures today. It's going to cool down a little bit, so we won't really be seeing those summer temps that we have been seeing lately, and we'll take a look here in a minute. All right, let's take a look outside. Currently it's 62 degrees. Now, there was some light rain going on when I made this slideshow. Now the rain is lightened up to just cloudy, but we will see some rain here soon. Around some models are showing about 130, 145, because look at our current radar. We've got this line of storms from a cold front and a low pressure system hanging around here, giving us those cooler temperatures. And this, as you pull out here, so you can see this cold front that's heading towards us, and actually up here in around upper New York and Vermont, New Hampshire area, they're actually going to be seeing some snowfall. So it's about that time of year, folks. We've got a 66-degree high today, which is actually about average, so it's looking pretty good. We're not going to be seeing those summer temps for a while, probably not till next year. We'll take a look at our future forecast for the rain. As you can see, just quickly making its way through. It should be out by Friday with some showers overnight, but it will be rainy today. We got showers for the rest of the week, like I said, Thursday and Friday. Cooler temperatures and more fall-type temperatures. And we've got a clear, crisp next week, so it's going to be pretty nice in the beginning of the week. Tonight, 48-degree low, 90% chance of heavy rain. We've got models showing up to about half an inch, 3/4 of an inch of rain, so be on the lookout for that. Tomorrow, 8 a.m., we got like some rain, mostly to happen before 11 a.m. As you can see, noon, the chance lowers down to 20%. We got mostly cloudy. Our high is 56 tomorrow, so like I said, those fall temps are really coming. Now, the game day forecast, if you're traveling to Penn State, State College forecast is showing 40-degree low for their 8 p.m. kickoff that Saturday night. Wish we had a night game every once in a while, but looks like pretty good weather, no rain or anything. Now, our 5-day forecast, you can see the showers, some morning showers tomorrow, high of 53 on Saturday here in Columbus, mostly cloudy, and then we get into Sunday and Monday, mostly sunny, 63 and 62, lows in the mid-low 40s, so not too cool, although we have 39 on Friday, so you'll want to grab some jackets, but overall, your sweater weather's finally here. Back to you guys.
You know, Braden, I arrived to the studio a little early today. Is it really that bad out?
Oh, man, I'll tell you what, it's raining cats and dogs out there, and I nearly stepped in a poodle.
You should be a comedian, Braden. Oh my gosh, it's hilarious.
In the state of Ohio, there have been many police brutality cases within the African American community. Young African American boys and girls have been victims of police brutality. Their families have lost their loved ones, and they want justice within the courts. Students at The Ohio State University felt obligated to shed light on how they feel. Brianna has more on what's been taking place on campus.
Students on campus decided to take action by protesting for Tyree King, commemorating his death that took place on September the 14th. Tyree was only 13 years old, and he was fatally shot by police officer Brian Mason, who was a 9-year veteran for the Columbus Police Department. Some students felt their voices needed to be heard, and the only way to do that was protesting.
All right, y'all, how are we doing? Woo! Are we pissed? Yes! Are we ready to march? Yes! Okay.
The night of the protest, I decided to ask some students what their thoughts were. What are your thoughts on students from Ohio State deciding to protest?
I think as long as they're doing it peacefully, they're using their rights that they were given very well. The Black Lives Matter movement as a whole is not bad.
On campus, there are a few organizations that support the Black Lives Matter movement. One prominent organization is the OSU Coalition for Black Liberation. To bring awareness to students and faculty on campus, they decided to initiate the protest for Tyree King.
No peace, no racist police, no justice, no peace, no racist police, no justice, no peace, no racist police, no justice. Tyree King, Tyree King, Tyree King, Tyree King, Tyree King, Tyree King, 13, Tyree King, just 13, Tyree King, just 13, Tyree King, just 13, Tyree King, just 13.
To keep the conversation going on campus, I spoke with one of the founding members of OSU Coalition for Black Liberation.
We had a pretty successful, I would say, protest in order to shed light on the Tyree King case. I think we mobilized at least 200 people to come out and stand in solidarity with us. Columbus Police Department was also very frustrated, but I think that the little bit of frustration that they felt is only an inkling of what we feel as black people at OSU.
Black students on campus want their voices to be heard to initiate change within police departments across the country. However, the real goal is to eliminate police brutality against African Americans. Brianna McNary, Buckeye TV.
Being a clown just got that much worse. In a report by the Associated Press, clown booking rates have gone down significantly in the face of growing reports of threatening clown sightings on social media. In some cases, business has been down by 40% in some areas. The World Clown Association's president has told working clowns to go out and clown. Show them what good entertainment is. Show them that a caring clown does.
There are nearly 30 dining locations on campus, so students have different choices on what to eat every day. Students hold different opinions about dining services. Sky has the story.
Eating is a big part of life. Many students choose to eat on campus. Are there enough dining areas and food choices for them? How do they think of the diversity of food? What suggestions do they have? Let's hear some students' voices.
The dining areas are always crowded at lunch and dinner time. Are there enough dining areas and food choices? Is it easy or hard to find a seat?
There's the Union Cafe, there's the Woody's Tavern, and there's actually a lot of options too on High Street, so everything is in good walking distance.
There are enough seats for me because I go to like the school traditions by myself. For some people who went to the like traditions with their friends or classmates, that may be hard for them to like find seats.
It does usually look a little crowded there, so like in the different dining spaces. So it does look like it might be tough to find a seat.
The food served in each of the dining areas is almost the same. Do students prefer what they have right now, or do they want more kinds of food? How do they think of the diversity of the food?
And I saw there's some sushi. There's not really much ethnic options, I guess, but as far as diversity goes, overall, I think it's pretty diverse.
The school traditions already provide us various kinds of food, and I think that is good. But as an international student, I wish to see like more like foreign foods.
They have a salad bar, they have like vegetarian options, I think they have some vegan options. So I think there's definitely a decent amount of variety, but I think it would never hurt to like mix things up a little bit and maybe give people tastes of things that they're not used to getting every day.
What suggestions do students have for dining service?
Maybe just add a little bit more ethnic food, like maybe like Indian food, a bit, I guess more broad Asian food options, maybe some like Middle Eastern options, just because the student population is so diverse. Even though like the food options are diverse as far as like healthy, not so healthy.
I wish they can provide some like more international or foreign foods, so that like international students, they will more likely to visit the dining place in school campus.
Maybe my suggestion would be to have even more vegetarian options, because I think people think that they need to eat like a ton of meat all the time, and you really don't have to. So maybe having that happening in college dining services would help people get introduced to that and realize that vegetables aren't so bad.
This is Scarlet from Buckeye TV.
Ohio State students and dining services have adopted a new food app for the school year, and there have been some mixed reviews. Morgan Clark has more on this new service for Ohio State students.
The modern age is all about convenience. With countless apps, ordering food has become much more convenient for college students, and Ohio State University is adding to the mix.
The app, Tipingo, allows a customer to order from any university fast casual restaurant, like Sloopy's, Marketplace, and coffee shops, or C-store locations with dining dollars, swipes, Buckeye cash, or credit card, and notifies a customer when their food is ready for pickup or delivery.
I actually do use it. I feel like it makes things go quicker, but that's only if you plan ahead. Like, it doesn't make it go quicker if you're obviously already there.
Although some dining locations have looked frantic with the adaptation of the app, a Courtside Cafe employee said that it actually makes everything run smoother in the kitchen. He says, Tipingo helps us get ready for the big rushes because we know what's coming up and being prepared. Some residents have had issues at other locations. One resident said Connecting Grounds had like 10 Tipingo orders and a really long line, and it was hectic. But they've been pretty good lately.
I have most issues with Oxley's, because sometimes if they don't have what you ordered, they just cancel your order, and then you have to like start all over again, which makes it very inconvenient.
Tipingo at Ohio State seems to be going in the right direction, but it also seems that there are some kinks that need to be worked out. With Buckeye TV, I'm Morgan Clark.
Well, it looks like that's all we have time for. I'm Braden Hyde.
And I'm Marisha Gibson.
And for all of us here at Buckeye TV, have a great week and get out there and vote. How'd we do, Joe?
Great work, you guys.